Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley's son says dad rejects him, wishes things were different. Kyle Chrisley opened up about his strained relationship with his dad on Father's Day. The son of Todd Chrisley posted a photo on social media, stating that he wishes his relationship with his dad was different, sharing that Todd won't talk to him. Continue reading to see what else Kyle said, plus a timeline of the father-son relationship. Kyle's relationship with Todd Chrisley has been strained. Kyle Chrisley is the oldest son of Todd Chrisley and ex-Teresa Terry. He was estranged from his father for quite a while. In 2014, Todd and Julie became the legal guardians of Kyle's daughter Chloe. They were appointed her guardians due to Kyle's drug use. At the time, Kyle felt as though his parents were using his daughter for television ratings. However, the father and son reconciled their differences in 2019, shortly after Kyle attempted to take his own life. Around the same time, Todd and Julie Chrisley were being investigated for fraud and tax evasion. Later, it was uncovered that Kyle, his sister Lindsay, and his biological mother were the ones who alerted the government to Chrisley's tax fraud. In 2019, Kyle Chrisley came forward with several statements about his sobriety and what led him to turn his dad into the Georgia Department of Revenue. He said that he lied about the allegations at the time. About a year and a half ago, my biological mom and my sister Lindsay were responsible for turning my dad into the Georgia Department of Revenue for tax evasion. He wrote on social media, "I was battling drug addiction, and I felt like he was trying to control me, so when they said, if he's locked up, he can't put you back in treatment, I said, okay. I should have said no." As you may know, Julie and Todd Chrisley were found guilty of bank fraud, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, tax fraud, and conspiracy to defraud the United States. The real estate mogul and his wife were sentenced to 12 and 5 years, respectively. What's happening with Kyle Chrisley now? Although it was revealed that Kyle Chrisley may have had a hand in putting him behind bars, Todd Chrisley tried to reconcile his relationship with his son. A recent social media post has people wondering what their relationship is like now that Todd is actually serving time. As mentioned above, Kyle Chrisley shared a photo of his dad holding him as a baby on Father's Day. The photo, which was shared to Instagram stories, showed a young Todd Chrisley with a squirming baby Kyle in his lap. Over the photo, Kyle wrote, "Happy Father's Day, Todd Chrisley." Then he continued, "Even though you won't talk to me, I miss your good night, I love you son texts more than you know. If only things were different." Many people might find it strange that Kyle said his dad won't talk to him rather than can't talk to him. Either way, it looks like things may be icy between the father and son once again. From the outside looking in, the Chrisley family once seemed to represent Southern charm, God-fearing unity, and picture-perfect living. But behind the designer suits, the flawless veneers, and the camera-ready smiles, a deeper fracture has always existed. One that now, according to Todd Chrisley's estranged son, has grown into an irreparable chasm. Kyle Chrisley sat on the edge of a weathered bench, far from the bright lights of reality TV. With the late afternoon sun filtering through the Georgia oaks behind him, he sighed deeply, the kind of sigh that carries more years than he's lived. "I used to think my dad was Superman," he said quietly, looking off into the distance. "He wore his confidence like armor. You couldn't tell him anything. You couldn't touch him. But when I needed a father, he wanted to be a brand instead." The words stung, even as he spoke them. Years of public scrutiny, rehab stints, and family court battles had already etched deep lines into Kyle's once boyish face. But it was the invisible wounds, the ones caused not by drugs or tabloids, but by silence, rejection, and unmet expectations, that weighed him down the most. "I'm not in the narrative. When I reached out after Mom's sentencing was overturned," Kyle continued, referring to Julie Chrisley's conviction being vacated, "I thought maybe, just maybe, He'd want to make peace. We could start again. Clean slate. But instead, I was met with a cold wall. No call, no letter. Not even a time Kyle felt cast aside. Over the years, his relationship with Todd had gone through extreme highs and devastating lows. One moment, they were pictured smiling at a red carpet event. The next, Kyle was speaking openly about feeling abandoned, replaced, edited out of the family's public image. They only want the polished version of the Chrisleys, he explained. The funny one-liners, the faith-based sound bites, the pretty people who fit the aesthetic. But what about the broken parts? What about the truth? He paused before adding, I'm not in the narrative they tell, but I'm part of the truth. A father's silence. Todd Chrisley, now serving a sentence in federal prison after a high-profile conviction for bank and tax fraud, has largely kept quiet about Kyle. His public statements, when they come, are tightly packaged through family reps, podcasts, or Savannah's Instagram page. To Kyle, the silence says more than any carefully crafted PR post ever could. I've written letters, Kyle said. I've asked for visitation. I even offered to do family counseling, even if it meant talking to him through a screen. But every time, I get the same message, not right now. Or worse, nothing at all. What hurts the most, Kyle confessed, isn't the distance, it's the choice. He chooses to ignore me, he said, voice cracking just enough to betray the stoicism he tried to maintain. And that's what's hardest to accept. That your own father, someone you loved so deeply, could just turn off. The ghost of what could have been. Though Todd's parenting methods were often showcased on Chrisley Knows Best as firm but loving, Kyle paints a different portrait. He was controlling. Everything had to be perfect. If you made a mistake, it wasn't just a mistake, it was a betrayal. I was never allowed to fall without shame. Still, Kyle isn't without self-awareness. He readily admits to his past struggles with addiction and mental health. I gave him plenty of reasons to worry, he said. But I was a kid. I needed grace, not a press release. And even now, after years of pain, Kyle says he doesn't want revenge or sympathy. He just wants something simpler, a conversation. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking for, he said. 5 minutes where we drop the cameras, the microphones, the headlines. Just me and my dad. No walls, no scripts. But for now, it seems that dream remains out of reach. A wish for Chloe. One of Kyle's deepest regrets involves his daughter, Chloe, who was raised by Todd and Julie. Since the legal battles over custody and the Chrisleys' incarceration, Chloe has been largely cared for by Savannah. I miss her every day, Kyle said. And I know she's caught in the middle of all this. But when she grows up, I want her to know her dad tried. I want her to hear it from me, not from gossip blogs or court papers. Kyle fears the cycle of rejection might repeat with her. The same walls my dad built around his heart. Sometimes I feel them forming in me too, and that terrifies me. Hope in pieces. Despite everything, Kyle isn't completely without hope. He continues to work on his recovery, attend therapy, and focus on building a life rooted in authenticity, not illusion. Even if my dad never reaches out, he said, I want to be the kind of father I needed, honest, present, forgiving. And as for the future, I'll never stop hoping, he said, managing a small, weary smile. Because deep down, I still love him. I wish things were different. I really do. I wish we could sit across from each other one day, both of us older and hopefully wiser, and say, we got it wrong, but we still have time to get it right. For now, though, Kyle waits, not in bitterness, but in quiet resilience, in the sacred space between heartbreak and hope, where a son still holds out for a father's embrace, even if it never comes.